Welcome to this session or in the podcast. So today one of the from the A1 level A1, which is my course. Today I will explain you from the very basic, which is the very important one of the point. So from my book I will explain you line by line some of the concepts in this podcast. So today we are going to discuss about the SAP Supply Chain Management EWM inbound delivery and good receipts. We learn and we have seen, and even on we see like how inbound delivery happens in the warehouse. So today we are going to understand more in deep, and we will understand how it happens exactly in the system. So here I consider in my book, in the example I considered both the system, decentralized side and S4HANA side, how it happens inside the systems. So in today our topic we will discuss about the inbound delivery, good receipts process, put away, moving the stock from one storage location to another storage location. So storage location could be permanent, storage location could be temporary, depends upon the what we are going to move, where we are going to move, and in the warehouse which location we want. So based on the location we set the storage types, would be permanent or would be temporary storage types. Okay. And also today I will explain you about put away strategy, moving the stock from one storage location to another storage location. Okay, movement. So we call one of the storage location is F1 and another storage location is F2. Generally what happens when we receive the goods from the supplier or vendor, so we unloaded the goods at the door, input door I can say, or we say this is an inbound door. After unloading the goods, we take it into the good receipts zone, or directly we take into the reception area. Then after, when we put the goods at the reception area, that time the property of the goods we consider as an, or we can say this is an F1 type. The status of the goods when we put at the F1 storage location, which is nothing but a reception area. Then after, in the system or in the warehouse, we do the things in the system which happens in the warehouse, in the real-time business. So whenever we move the goods from the reception area to final storage type, let's consider I received 7,000 cements bag to store in my godown, or in the advanced language we say this is nothing but a warehouse. And our requirement is so store these all the cement bags inside our warehouse in the bulk storage type, because 7,000 bags if I will put inside the bins, better in the business we put that kind of material in the open area, which is not outside the open area, or like, but open area means big space, empty space inside the warehouse. We consider that's area is nothing but a bulk storage type, bulk area. So when what we do, we receive the material, that cement bags from the trucks. Then what we do, our warehouse workers, resources we call, they unloaded the goods into the reception area. We take that product to the quality inspection at quality zone, or if we have the good business history with our vendor, we believe we directly place that good into the bulk storage area, bulk storage type. So in my channel I already explained how we place the goods in the, so this reference I am giving you in this podcast from my own book. Here we have the explanations, here we have the screenshots, configurations with the multiple processes, with the, in case of put away, inbound and good receipt process, with the some kind of additional processes. So when we move the goods from the reception area to open area, for an example, our warehouse workers, they pick and they place there the goods. So the goods state, the cement bag, the material property will be changed inside the system automatically. Material will not be changed. Cement bag will be cemented bag. The system consider, so state will be changed from the F1 to F2 location. F2 means, so when the cement bag located at the reception area, system considers, oh, this is an F1 type. When it moves, the warehouse workers, when they place the goods to the final storage type inside the bin, bulk storage, then it becomes F2 type. Because after F1, F2 come, then F3 come, then F4 come, for an example. So we go with the flow. And also, so this is about the how the system changes the property of the product. And so here we say, when we have the products at the good receipt zone, GR zone, we say the property of the product is nothing but the type of the goods is, state of the goods are F1 type, and these are will be changed to the, or we can say this is an ROD, received on dock, because we received the product and we docked, means we unloaded and we docked at the reception area. When we place the goods to the, in our example, inbound process, when we receive the goods to the bulk storage type, when we place, then we call this is available for sale. Because if we place something finally, then we can sell the same thing. So F1 to F1 becomes F2 when your goods moves from the GR zone to reception area to inside the final area where we place the goods. And also F1 is nothing but a ROD, and the final storage bin is nothing but where we place the goods is nothing but a AFS, means available for sale. So I will start from my book. So in today's topic, inbound delivery, good receipts process, and this video will help to the people to understand from my A1 level course how the business process happens. What is the inbound process? This video will give the help to the people to give some ideas in the real-time business. So in the EWM, put away, moving the stock from one storage location to another storage location, from F1 to F2 storage location, or ROD to AFS location. From ECC, purchase order first converts the inbound delivery in ECC, and then through RFC, this inbound delivery converts into inbound delivery notification. So how system converts that inbound delivery in between ECC and EWM system? Okay, in case if we work with the S4HANA site, the process is same behind the system. I'm speaking about the internally, how system treats that. So your delivery will be converted from inbound delivery to inbound delivery notification in the supply chain management box in the decentralized side, then post-processing framework converts this inbound delivery notification into warehouse process time. In the warehouse, nothing happens automatically. For an example, I'm not talking about the automation. It happens automatically when we will talk about the automation process. But generally, everything is we need to configure here. So what happens? Post-processing framework here helps a lot to convert your inbound delivery from inbound delivery notification to warehouse process type. Process type means to process, to put that material pick from the reception area and put it on the final storage bin. Then after, your inbound delivery notification will become actually in the system inbound delivery. Then we call, we are working in inbound delivery or outbound delivery. But before beginning, it was inbound delivery notification, and our system means system takes the help of heart of the post-processing framework. It's nothing but an heart of the process. It converts your inbound delivery notification, which was inside the ECC system, because first we create the purchase order. We create the purchase order in the ERP layer. Then we process it into the EWM layer. So your inbound delivery notification converts it into the inbound delivery inside the EWM box with the help of system. System takes the help of the post-processing framework, which is nothing but a tool inside the system. Now, next point. Now we are going to talk about warehouse task. Once the materials have arrived in the warehouse, finding the right place in the warehouse for this material, moving them into the right bins for storage is called warehouse task. Task means movement. When we ride any bike, when we are speaking, when we are communicating inside the podcast or video, these are nothing but a task. We are performing an actions. Tasks are nothing but an actions we perform inside the warehouse. Very simple. Then I will talk about the warehouse order. Order means we give this order to the system. We need to perform this task, inbound or outbound. For an example, let's talk about warehouse orders. The warehouse orders represent an executable work package. It contains the actions, it contains the tasks, orders contains an action. If our parents, for an example, or anyone gives some order, do go and buy these things from the supermarket. So they give an order, for an example, we go to the supermarket. This is nothing but a task. Okay, same thing in the warehouse you can consider. So the warehouse order represents an executable work package that a warehouse employee should complete within a specific time. So in the warehouse workers, they need to complete some task in the real life. If our friend says, for an example, I need to buy something for them, then these are nothing but an action. Similar. So I correlate with the real life examples to make you more understandable, more helpful for the guys. They are trying to understand the basics of the supply chain management processes, and we are focusing on talking about the extended warehouse management process in the system, SAP systems. Okay, so we need to finish this in the specific time, but we should make sure confirmation control key, confirmation, remember this word, confirmation control key is activated, else purchase order will not be distributed to EWM layer. So inside the system, Whenever the task will be triggered, simple. There is a setting in the system or in the PO, we have the confirmation control key. If we don't take the confirmation control key, we don't have that setting, and at runtime when we create the purchase order, we don't select, your delivery will not be reached, or your this process delivery will not be reached or distributed to the EWM side. And in this podcast, I am considering the decentralized and embedded both. Remember, once the inbound delivery will be distributed to supply chain management, means ERP box, then you cannot make any changes in the ECC. When it will reach to the EWM side, then revert will not be possible. Okay, with the same inbound delivery number, because it gets locked in ECC system. Okay, after performing the task, so when you purchase something from the supermarket, the person will not take accept actually. For an example, same thing. So the revert process will not be happen because the delivery will be logged in the ECC or ERP or S4 layer. Okay. Next point. So this is a brief intro which I am giving now. Now we must process the inbound delivery into the EWM system through the /N/SCWM, which is the full form Supply Chain Warehouse Management /PRDI. Okay. This transaction code we must execute inside the EWM system, and then within fraction of second it will be converted to PPF action by assigning warehouse process type, automatically warehouse number and document number, which is INB. So what happens when we execute this transaction code, behind system triggers immediately post-processing framework. Post-processing framework, if we have the automation, if we set this automatically, the delivery will be distributed to EWM layer from ECC, we can set that in the PPF configurations. But generally when we execute normally, so this transaction code, then what happens, your post-processing framework will be triggered, system triggered that, and system triggered the warehouse process type. So system gives the instruction, you need to perform this process, you need to perform this task, because warehouse process type contains warehouse orders. Warehouse orders contains warehouse task. Tasks are nothing but an actions which we need to perform. The warehouse worker they need to perform, and we perform as in consultants, we perform in the system, SAP systems. So immediate INB inbound delivery pulls the warehouse process type, it fetches the warehouse process type inside the system, and warehouse process type tells where you want to receive the goods initially in the warehouse or interim location. Okay, not the final location yet. So security, reception, etc. we can say.